Carolina. Mr. Norman is recognized. Mr. Norman.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Pringle, are you familiar with the NEA's section an end to policing in schools?
What are you referring to?
The provision that basically it's a call to action for police-free schools.
The NEA has not taken a position on police-free schools. What we have done is we have taken a position on ensuring that every student, everyone, has access to a quality education and that they attend a safe and supportive and nurturing environment in which every one of them can learn.
But as far as it relates to having police officers armed, does that make students safer at the schools, in your opinion, as being head of the NEA?
Having police officers armed?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand your question. You mean generally having police officers armed?
In schools, are children more safe if the resource officers and/or armed police are armed?
We have school resource officers in our schools where we work and engage in making sure that they have the training and the support that they need.
You're not answering my question.
So that they can engage with our students, social and emotional and academic
so you
learning.
do not agree that armed resource officers or police make children safer?
We believe that when you are in a school environment.
Okay, you're not going to answer the question.
I did answer the question.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Well, let me put it to you again, Ms. Pringle. Do you think trained school personnel who are trained and are permitted to carry concealed weapons are more of a threat to students, or would they keep our students safer? This will be the last question I ask you.
Our teachers throughout this country overwhelmingly reject the idea of arming teachers in our schools. More guns in schools mean more killings.
Okay, so no teacher with a concealed weapon, and I assume, since you didn't answer, no resource officer ought to have a gun. The only one that should have guns are the people that come in there to do harm, is basically what you're saying.
I did not say that. I didn't say that.
Well, I don't, well, you did not answer the question. Ms. Swearer, the International Journal of Policing Strategies and Management concluded that the presence of a school resource officer reduces the fear of crime among students. It increases feelings, increases the safety among the students. Is that a true statement?
I believe, based on the evidence, that it is.
There's no question about that, is it?
No, I believe the evidence is pretty unequivocal.
And if armed teachers or or really, if the police had gone in earlier, the carnage would not have been as great, correct?
I think especially when you look at the preventable blood loss and the ability to get first aid to students who spent 78 minutes not receiving that first aid, yes, that is incredibly important.
And you would think that arming teachers and administrators would have quicker responses to stopping school shooters, right?
It is certainly, obviously we should look at ways of ensuring that we don't get to that point, but yes, when that point has been reached, the armed response and the quickness of that response is at that point the primary thing that matters in terms of saving lives.
Just like it's gotten to the point in this country under liberal administrations and the Democrats who want to disarm the police, we've got to have police officers in churches of all places who are armed, which is a sad day in this country. I want to yield the balance of my time to Mr. Clyde.
Thank you to my colleague from South Carolina. Mr. Swearer, or Mrs. Swearer, excuse me, Ms. Swearer, Democrats have advocated for a gun buyback program like the one in Australia. Do you think this would work in the United States?
No, I think the research on the Australia ban has one of several things that has been greatly mischaracterized today. I think when you look at rates of gun violence generally dropped, but it did so in every developed country around the world during that time, including in the United States, even though our number of guns per capita almost doubled during that time. Additionally, when you look at mass shootings before that ban and after that ban. Before the ban, they were very rare in Australia comparatively, especially compared to the United States. Those types of shootings were overwhelmingly not carried out by the types of weapons that were banned. And so there doesn't even seem to be some sort of logical connection, even if you're looking at, again, these very low, statistically low incidences.
Thank you.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Sarbanes.